In 1820, an event happened which changed the world. For thousands of years, the world was based upon human capital and animal power. Was based upon human muscle and animal power because nations with large populations did very well. China and India were 45% of world GDP. Throughout human civilization, they've been the richest countries in the world because they had a large number of people, they were river valley civilizations, and they had an artisanal economy where people produced goods which were traded, and India was very rich and China was very rich. Then in 1820, something happened which changed the world forever, and that was the steam engine going off patent. And suddenly the machine age started. By 1850, Europe had become the largest economy of the world, 30 years. And then started the colonization of India, colonization of Africa, the colonization of Asia. And that led to the transformation and the change in power from Asia to the West, to Europe, and then the rise of the United States. It was just 200 years ago. And it changed the way the world was. Then the machine age came. And the machine age had its impact on everything the world has. Europe became richer, exploited the resources of these countries, sent raw material. And you know that there's something called the Dhaka muslin cloth, which you could take, and the entire cloak should be passed through a ring. It was so finely woven. And the British cut off the thumb of all those weavers to make sure they can't do it. They put 50% land tax on India. And if you read a book called The Case for India by Will Durant, who's a great American philosopher and writer, he says, but in 1857 and 1930, the British took away wealth from India equal to $450 billion in 1930 money. And there's a lady who wrote a book from Columbia University. She says, the total wealth taken away from India is $45 trillion in today's money. Whatever it is, absurd, and it's very, very large. So it is a rich country, became a poor country, and it had to do with the rise of machine and a disruption that happened in society. So society goes through disruptions. And the disruption, greatest disruption, was because of the rise of the machine era. And the machine era led to great wars. 1914, 1919, the First World War, 16 million people were killed. War on the industrial scale. The war started with cavalry, ended with tanks, and ended with aircraft flying in the air. Then the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. 60 million people killed. 60 million people, 6 crore people all over the world. Devastated. The war started with cavalry again by Poland, and Hitler came with his blitzkrieg with the panzer tanks going 50 kilometers per day. And the war ended with missiles going to London, the V missiles from Berlin, and then the atom bomb being put into Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that changed the world. The war ended, and that started decolonization because India fought for a freedom. And then today we have 200 countries, decolonized, the world is a different place. After the disruption 200 years ago, now then the disruption is taking place. For the last 15 years, a disruption taken place, which by 2030 will change the way the world is that we know the world is in our lifetime. In our lifetime, in front of us, every single minute. And that is the digital revolution and the rise of the internet. Why is the internet important? The internet is important because you have a single platform where 7 billion people, 7.5 billion people can come and interact and get data, get music, get videos, and interact, do business, and do everything and get educated. On one single platform, synchronously, asynchronously. Earlier, if you had to reach people, it had to be physically through a supply chain. The supply chain is a function of the Industrial Revolution. Because we built huge supply chains, and supply chain connected consumers and producers to distributors, warehouses, shipping, and then retail, etc. Now the whole thing is cut out because you are on a platform. And the platform is electronic. And all you require to get on the platform is a phone, and now Reliance Jio does it for 1,500 rupees. Unlimited data for 100 rupees a month, right? I don't know how you make money out of it, but anyway, keep going. 100 rupees a month, unlimited data. And everybody's having fun, and everybody's doing this. And we're all on the same platform. Synchronously, asynchronously, everybody's connected. And that disruption is going to change the world, lead to different kind of behavior, and the world is going to be different. So look at the data. 7.6 billion people on the planet, 5.1 billion have a phone, and 4.4 billion are internet users.